Hello, 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 hello. Welcome. Welcome to Monday. Today is Monday. My name is Michael. I'm an English teacher here in New York, and we are live on YouTube. Hello, Lolly, Natalia, Fab as in fabulous, Marcella. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate that. Let me just check the signal. Everything looks to be okay, I think. Right? You guys can hear me okay? Hello, Mie. Sound working? Baby channel, hello? Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound okay? Yep. All right, good. Oof. Sometimes it's hard to know. Da, 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 da. It's 4 million degrees in my room today. Oh my God. Hot in the home office. Whew. I think the temperature is supposed to be 36 today. Oh my God. Think cool, think cool. I don't know if I should drink hot coffee or cold tea. But I prepare both. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Did you study? Have you studied? Have you been studying? What did you learn this weekend? You mean I spent so much time studying this weekend. I didn't get any work done. Uh-oh. I'm in big trouble. Shijuku Madan. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. If some of you have seen my secondary Instagram page, so you've seen that I've been doing some studying here. And wow, it feels good to be a student again. That's for sure. Hello, Monica. Agnes, hi. Welcome. Thanks for coming. So here's my question. I like to always start off on Monday with the same question. What did you learn this weekend? Did you learn any new vocabulary? Did you learn any new phrasal verbs, idioms? Did you study grammar? Were you practicing your writing? What did you study this weekend? I would like to know. What did you learn this weekend? Maybe you didn't study anything. Maybe you were just sitting at home watching, I don't know what, Netflix. I learned get back at. Uh-oh. You mean revenge someone? Get back at someone. I'll never relinquish all my hope. All right. I learned some idioms. What idioms did you study? Share with the group. We can learn from each other. Right, revenge. I don't think I put that in today's lesson though. Get back at. I learned the new word toque. I don't think I know that word. T-O-Q-U-E. Is that a woman's hat? Toque. Natalia, that's not a very commonly used word. Maybe in the fashion world it is. Let's see. Might as well. That's good. On vacation. Wow, nice. Lucky you. Caught up in a new project. Not my cup of tea. Lolly was honest. She hung out with her friends. Adam, to bog off. I think bog off, that sounds like British English to me. Bog off. I think that's British English. Oh, it's a hat worn by chefs. Okay. Can I ask you, do you use attaboy in the U.S. these days? Attaboy! I think when In sports, right? You know, the player hits a home run, or they get a goal in some sport. Attaboy! They might say that, but I think that's a little bit old-fashioned. It sounds a little old-fashioned to me, like 1950s English. Hate to break the news, your girlfriend cheated on you. Give me a break. We dated this morning. For my podcast, thank you. New podcast coming out soon. Michael is not into sports. That's correct. He is not. That's for sure. That is for sure. Muck up, screw up, mess up, whatever it takes. Oh, good. Charlie is using it in 2.5 Men, but this is an old series. Yeah, you know, that's his generation, or that's his style of speaking. I personally don't use that phrase, but that just doesn't mean, you know, that it's not usable. 2.5 Men. It's a piece of cake. It's out of the blue. All right, good. Nice idioms. That's excellent. That's excellent. All right, good. Good. Today we're going to take a look at phrasal verbs, which are with get. Hello, Tefo. Good to see you. Phrasal verbs with get. That's the plan. That is the plan. Out of the blue. Out of the blue. My high school friend Ed called me last night out of the blue. True story. Suddenly and without, I wasn't expecting it. So when something happens unexpectedly, you can say that it happened out of the blue. He called me out of the blue. I haven't spoken to him in a while, and he called me out of the blue. Which is interesting because usually these days people don't call, right? They send a text. So that's out of the blue. Thanks, Harmony. When pigs fly, get carried away, get my hopes up. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that. When pigs fly. I love that idiom. When pigs fly. I'll go back to that restaurant when pigs fly. Means never. I'll do that never. That's when pigs fly. Never. Yeah. That's a good idiom. What else I want to tell you? I can't think. It's too high. I just came back from walking the dogs. It is, the humidity and the sunshine is too strong today. So if you hear a humming sound in the background, that's my very loud air conditioner. Sorry about that. Put the microphone like this, you won't hear that. Excuse me. All right. So, what time is it? It's time to go. Now, some of these, today we're going to talk about phrasal verbs with get. I realized that for some reason I haven't done that here. And so we did talk about idioms with get and other ways to use get, but we never spent time just on the phrasal verbs. That's what I want to do today. Why, Michael, do you always teach phrasal verbs? Because we use them in everyday English. That's why. So, all right. So I'm trying to think what I had to say to you. The brain is not working. My brain is fried from the heat. Whew. It's very humid. And if you live in a place like that has a lot of high humidity all the time, I feel for you, because now I'm experiencing that today. All right. If there's no other question, let the party begin. Remember, if you want to actually learn my system, what I do to remember vocabulary, then here's what you should do. You should take my free vocabulary workshop. Yep, you're going to learn where and how to get new words. You're going to learn the best way to study and learn your new words, and how to own those words so you can always remember them and use them when you need them. And all you have to do to sign up, you go to myhappyenglish.com and put in your name and your email, and you're on the list, and you'll get that. You'll also get my weekly newsletter. A lot of things come from that, so check it out. All right, phrasal verbs with get. Phrasal verbs with get. Here we go. Some of these might be new. Some of these you might already know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If this is your first time to come to my live YouTube lesson, welcome. Thanks for joining. Your participation in the chat is always welcome, especially when you have your own example sentences. I like to see those. All right, the first one is get ahead. Get ahead means to be successful in your life or in your career or your studies. According to my boss, the best way to get ahead in this company is to come to work on time and work hard, said my boss. If you study every day, you'll certainly get ahead in your English studies. Study with me and you will certainly get ahead. Are you getting ahead? Are you getting ahead in your studies? Are you getting ahead in your career? How about your example? Do you know anybody who's getting ahead in their career or getting ahead? Get ahead at work today. That's probably better. Are you getting ahead at your job? Can I get ahead in sports? Usually we use it for career or studies. So if you're Marcella, if you're a professional athlete, then you can certainly get ahead in sports. And we use that a lot when we talk about professional athletes. I'm getting ahead on my career. Good for you, Agnes. If I study very hard, I'll get ahead in English. Yes, you are, Lolly Lolly. That's correct. Welcome. Gabrielle, welcome. Javier, welcome. Thanks for coming today. Thank you, thank you. Today's topic is phrasal verbs with get. Finally, after, let's see, 7 months of not getting ahead, I'm finally getting ahead. Getting a hood? Oh, it's too hot. I'm finally getting ahead in my language studies. I study Japanese. That's right. I'm finally getting ahead in my language studies. I learn English every day. I'm getting ahead. Finally, good. I like to think I get ahead in my studies or studying English. Now go. I'd like to think I get ahead in my English studies or studying English. I suppose I'm getting ahead on my English because I can get you easily than last year. Good. Good. I'm getting ahead day by day in my speaking skills. I try to get ahead every day. I don't know if I'm successful. Lazy people cannot get ahead. That's correct. Suleiman, hello, welcome. Get ahead in my team. All right, good. Getting ahead is important. What's the opposite of get ahead? What's the opposite? It's a phrasal verb. I'm getting ahead in my language studies, all thanks to Michael's method. Thank you. Oh, Monica, you're close. That's very close. Lag behind? Okay, that works. Get behind. I got behind in my studies. Yep. You can either fall behind or get behind. We use both. If you're taking a class and you don't study for a few days, you're going to fall behind or you're going to get behind. If hang on, I think that's in there. Just a moment. Yes, get behind. Coming up. I told you it's very hot. Get backward. Drop behind. Yeah, fall behind or get behind. And that's going to come up in a couple of moments. Actually, give me a second. Hang on one second. I'm going to just I'm going to edit this document since it's already in there. Okay. That's a good idea. Thank you, Michael, for editing. All right. So the opposite of get ahead is get behind. And so when you get behind, you're not progressing as much as others, or you're not progressing in your personal goals, right? If you spend too much time on social media, you're going to get behind in your studying. Ribamar Lopez, good morning. I had so many meetings this week that I got behind in my other work. That happens sometimes if you work somewhere and there are a lot of meetings. Because you have to attend those meetings and you have to, prepare for those meetings, and then you don't have a chance to do your other work, so you get behind. Okay, so those are the opposites. Get behind or fall behind, we can say. Some people will do anything to get ahead. That's true. Ado, thank you. That's right. I spent 7 months. I don't know if I was getting behind because I wasn't where I wanted to be anyway. But I wasn't progressing. So now I am. Hello, Tammy. Better late than never. Thanks for coming. Much appreciated. So don't spend too much time on social media, otherwise you'll get behind. But I'm glad to see everybody's got a positive feeling about making progress in English. That's good. That's good. Don't get behind. Keep going. Remember, if you can spend about, even if it's 15, 20 minutes, right? Every day. Read something in English, listen to something in English, write something and speak English. Those 4 things, you'll get it. Can I say we're behind schedule? Yes, we are behind schedule. Right? There is an office behind me. Right? There's a couple of chairs and a wall and a window behind me. Right? So behind has that meaning. Right? But get behind means there's a lag. Okay? So, in other words, the time is here and you're not keeping up with time. You're kind of way back over here. Behind schedule, ahead of schedule, on schedule. Tefo, thank you. That's right. Those are the 3 things. Shop, please, get behind. Baby channel, I'm not sure what you mean there. If I don't work in my program, I'll get behind in my approach. Okay, good. Depends on social media. If I'm on YouTube with you on Monday, it's not a waste of time. That's true. If we spend too much time on English videos so we can get ahead in our listening, that's true. That is true. But I've learned something as a language student studying Japanese. When you sit down with your notebook and your task to study, that's different than scrolling through Instagram and looking at various teachers' posts. Okay? So, yes, certainly, watching a video like this for an hour is going to help your listening skills, and you can consider this listening practice because there's no subtitles on the bottom. So that's, that is good listening practice. But just, looking at somebody's post on social media doesn't necessarily mean that it's good studying. Okay? You have to take that information and apply it somewhere. So, I met so many clients last week that I got behind in my other work. Right, that's a good example. Watching movies is a fun way to upgrade your listening skills, that's for sure. Yep. All right. Get along and get along with. When people get along, or they get along with each other, it means they have a good relationship. Eddie said that he doesn't get along with his new boss. Okay? So let's look at the grammar here. One person gets along with another person. Or two or more people get along. My coworkers and I get along well. My coworkers and I get along well. Okay, so we use it both ways. If you use get along with, then you have to say the person here. I get along. Lolly, good question. Get along is not separable. I get along with you, we get along. But I can't say I, Lolly, get along. So it's not separable. Get on with. Sky, I'm not sure if that's British English with the same meaning. There's a huge, I should just tell you this right now, in case this is your first time. So, I'm an American English teacher. I'm American. And so, phrasal verbs, there's a huge difference between phrasal verbs in American English and British English. There are a lot of differences, and I don't know them because there's many. I think what's the book? There's a book by Oxford about phrasal verbs and idioms. I can't think of what it's called right now. So many phrasal verbs I don't know. So sorry, Sky, I'm not sure if that's correct. I know that in British English they say, how are you getting on? Means, how are you doing? In American English. So I'm not sure. I wish that my hair become, I will get long. Get long? You want to grow your hair? I don't have many friends, but I get along with people easily. Good. We get well together. Again, Fab, that could be British English. We don't say that in America. When you have a good relationship with somebody, you can say we get along, or I get along with him, like that. Can't get along with a client. A claimant or client? I think you mean client. Naoko. He's a square person. I cannot get along with arrogant people. I get along with my brother. Good. Getting along with your coworkers makes your work fun. Do you and your sister get along? Yes. Client, good. Phrasal verbs in use. Is that the one? Wow. Yeah, British English phrasal verbs are hard for me as a native English speaker. So, in some respects, it's like Portuguese in Portugal and Portuguese in Brazil, or Spanish in Spain and Spanish in Latin America. It's the same, the language, the base of the language is the same, but a lot of the vocabulary is different. That's my understanding. Get on well with somebody. Ebby, yeah, so I think get on is British English. And I'm sorry, but I can't give you advice about British English. Sorry, I didn't get well with my parents before. Ari, I think you mean get along well. Welcome. Get along. Yeah, British English that's a tough one. Hit it off with someone. Hit it off with someone means to have a good relationship with that person when you first meet. So if you meet somebody for the first time and you really get along well with that person, you can say that you hit it off. We hit it off. Hit it off. Hit it off. Hit it off. Hear the sound there? Hit it off. Hit it off. We clicked. That's right. We clicked. Da, 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 da. Fast friends. Sorry, Tammy, I don't know that phrase. We're fast friends. I'm a guy who works hard and gets on well with colleagues. Edo, that's good. Good for you. Fast friends. Fast friend. A group of friends who are often each other's company and appear to be inseparable. Good, loyal friends. I've never heard that phrase. That's really interesting. Fast friends. I don't know. They've been fast friends. Again, that might be British English too. In American English, we say good friends. Hit it off. That's right, we hit it off. We hit it off. Tefo, good question. And again, this is also American English. Tefo asks, what's the difference between colleagues and coworkers? A coworker is a person who works in the same physical space as you do. Same physical office. A colleague is a person who works in your company, but in a different office. So, or a different department. So, for example, if you work in Toronto and your company has an office in Vancouver, same company, the people in the office in Toronto, those are your coworkers. The people in the office in Vancouver, those are your colleagues. That's American English. Co-worker is an American English term. It's my understanding in British English that everyone who works in your company is your colleague. Same office or different office, doesn't matter. But that's in British English. In American English, right? Co means together. C-O, cooperate. Communication. Co means together. So co-worker means we work together. We work in the same place. My colleague is the person that works in the Vancouver office, for example, or the Amsterdam office. The Amsterdam branch of Happy English. Who knows? Colleagues can be applied to remote work. That's a tough question. Never thought about that before. So, Tammy, I don't know. I don't know. Because first of all, I don't work in a company. I work in my own company. Second of all, my coworkers have 4 legs and short noses. Okay? Woof. So, I don't know if these days, if you are hired remotely, if you would consider the people that you work with coworkers or colleagues. I'm not sure. What I can say is, if you're in the same physical space, it's a coworker. Colleagues can be applied to remote work. I don't know. If you usually work in an office, but a couple of days a week you work from home, right? Then they're still your coworkers, because tomorrow you'll be back in the office physically with them. So I think it's this. I think we would use that phrase. That's a good point, though. Canadians say work from home. I work from home. Yeah, you can say that. I work from home. But I work from home is my action. What is my relationship to the other people in my company? Is it a colleague or a coworker? Again, I think if you've had the experience to be in the same office with that person, that's a coworker. All right. Hope that makes sense. I don't want to get too far off the topic. Get around. Monica, thank you for bringing us back. Get around means to move from place to place. Okay? And when I say it from place to place in one location is probably a better way to say that. In New York City, it's easy to get around by subway. Doesn't need a capital S, Michael, thank you. That countryside town is so small you can get around on foot. How do you get around in your town? Do you get around by car? Do you get around by bus? Do you get around by train, by subway? Maybe you live in Venice. You get around by boat. How do you get around? In Amsterdam, it's easy to get around by bike. By bike. That's right. You can get around by bike. Keep in mind, it's always by car, by train, by bus, by motorcycle, by bike, on foot. On foot. In my little town, you can get around on foot. Natalia says we usually go by bus and on foot, by train. It's easy to get around. I don't drive. I like traveling to places easy to get around on foot. New York City, you can get around on foot. Come on over. On foot, right. We don't say by walking. We don't say by walk. It's on foot. By air, by sea, by UFO, by rocket ship, by train, by bus. I get around with my car. At left. How do you mean at left? I usually get around by one? Marcella, how do you mean by one? You mean by yourself? By myself? But that's an important point. Sometimes I hear people say, oh, you can get around on walking. Can you join New York City downtown on foot? That's right. We usually get around by bike in our village. Marcella, no problem. Remember, your last mistake is your best teacher. On foot. I've been meaning to do this, but I can't get around to it. Is another way of saying this phrase? I've been meaning to, I can't get around to it. That's coming up next. Coming up next. Naoko, you must have telepathy. You know it's coming up next. When I had an office in the city, I could get downtown in about 30 minutes on foot. Now I can't. Now, because I'm 45 minutes by train. So, if I walked, several hours. I can get around by car. Okay, good. Now, no problem. I live in the suburbs of New York City, and that's where the home office is. The home office. All right. Get around to. Get around to it. Means to do something that you've been delaying doing. I finally got around to studying Japanese with a teacher. Took me a while to get around to doing that. Last weekend, I finally got around to weeding my garden. Get around by plane. Wow. That's expensive travel. When are you going to get around to doing your homework or get around to your homework? You can use get around to a gerund or a noun. That's the ing. Usually we do that. Usually we do it with an ing. Get around to. I got around to cleaning my desk the other day. I got around to buying new trainers, also called sneakers in America. Thank you, Natalia. Get around to. Get around to. I have to get around to finishing my grammar English book. Good. Weed is a verb. Yes. You can weed the weeds. When are you going to get around to tidying up the basement? That's the funny thing about get around to. It's get around to plus an ing. Get around to tidying up the basement. Get around to finishing my grammar book. Get around to cleaning my bathroom. Get around to making. Baby channel, I think get around to doing shopping works better. It's get around to plus an ing. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I need to get around to cleaning my house. I'm used to taking the train here. So sometimes there's a phrase with to followed by an ing. You have to get around to doing it. Get around to going to the beach. Nice. Finally got around to making a travel plan with my friend. Okay, good. Where are you going? What's the difference between on the suburbs and on the outskirts? So, in the suburbs and on the outskirts of town. On the outskirts of the city. I feel like the phrase on the on the outskirts of the city means if this is the city, it's the edge of the city. That's the outskirts. He lives in the outskirts of town, just on the edge of the city border. The suburbs is an area between the city and the countryside. That's the suburbs. Hope that makes sense. Oh, whoa. Sorry. There we go. I got around to reading an English book. Eri, which one? What are you reading in English? Get around to doing cook. In that case, it's better to say get around to cooking. Get around to cooking. I finally got around to cooking. Cooking. You can say doing cooking, but I think I get around to cooking. I come along. Then we meet teacher Giacomo. Oh, you guys are coming to New York. Let's go. Please get around to coming to New York. That'd be awesome. First round of beers is on me. Get around to. Speaking of vacations, get away. We use get away with two meanings. One is escape. Two means take a vacation. And maybe I said to you guys about a month or so ago that there was a dog that got away in my neighborhood. You remember that story? I saw the same dog today running around my neighborhood. Okay, get away. The police caught one robber, but the other two got away. The other two got away. They escaped. It's not very busy in the office, so I'm hoping to get away for a few days next week. So get away could mean escape from somebody, or it could mean take a vacation. Get around to slipping. Sleeping? Run out. Marcella, how do you mean? Yeah, the dog ran out of their house. I don't know how. My dog got away all the time. Oh, really? Take a break from somebody. I need to get away from my dogs. I'm sorry, Max. Get away. Get away. Run out. Yeah, run out means to run out of a place, right? So if the dog is in the house and the dog runs out of the house, then we would use run out. In a way, that's get away. It depends on the context. When I see non-native speakers who speak English, I tend to get away soon. Why? Non-native speakers who speak English. Don't get away. Join them. Get away from a place. Yes. I need to get away from this town. I need to get away from this office. He was really a big escaper. Wow. Snowbirds usually get away for a few months every winter. That's right. I get away from my boyfriend. Get away from something or get away from a place. Or just get away. I need to get away. I need to get away. I need to get away from New York. Damn you, COVID. Get away. How come the air conditioner went off? What happened to the remote control? Uh-oh. Where is the remote control? That's very weird. The remote control is gone. Everyone needs to get away from time to time. I want to get away for a change. I need a quiet vacation. I got away. Right, you can get away with somebody. I had to get away from my parents. Get away from somebody. Is it correct? Sorry. I want to get away for a change. Yeah, perfect. She got away from the office without saying. Ooh, she escaped. I'm going to get away for a fortnight soon. A fortnight. Lolly, what does a fortnight mean? I feel like I want to get away from Japan because there's a bunch of earthquakes everywhere. Again? Hang on, I got to find the remote. Give me one moment. Where's the remote? What did you guys do with the remote control? You got the remote control, Max? Why? That's really weird. That's very, very strange. The remote control for the air conditioner just disappeared. Huh. That's very weird. Darn aliens. No, it's not in the drawer. It's always on my desk. I do not know. I do not know. The dog has eaten it. Max, did you eat the remote control? I wouldn't be surprised. A fortnight is 2 weeks. We'll be gone for a fortnight. Wow. It's not in my pocket. No, it's not in my pocket. It's weird. On the floor? Oh. I don't know. Maybe it grew legs and walked away. I don't know. It seems like the remote control has gotten away. I don't know why. That's why I turned on the air. I'll look for it when we're done. Not a problem. Okay. Let's have that very important talk about public transportation. Hanging over your head. Maybe not. Where are we? Okay. Whenever we talk about public transportation, we use get on, get off, get on, get off, get on, get off, get on, get off. When you can stand up. We think public transportation is like a stage. So you get on the stage, you get off the stage. Get on the stage, get off the stage. Get on the bus, get off the bus, get on the subway. You can stand. Get on the train, you can stand. Get on the plane. Get on the ship, get on the ferry. Okay? So you can get on and get off a train or a bus or public transportation. But if you're talking about a car, a taxi, or an Uber, for example, it's get in and get out of. Right, get in the taxi. Because the taxi is small, the car is very small. I'm inside the car, I can't stand up. I got in my car and I drove to the train station. I got out of the taxi and went to my office. So get in, get out of. But get in the taxi, that's right. Jump on, jump off. Hop on, hop off, that's right. Get on the bus, get on the plane, get on the subway. And it's a little bit weird because if this is the train and this is you're not going to get on the train, on the top of the train, right? You're going to board the train. So, but we say that. How about a little boat? Get on the boat. Yep. Get on the boat, get on the ferry. Anything you can stand up on. Anything, a small aircraft is, get on the plane. Get on the helicopter. A small aircraft. Get on the plane, yeah. How about a bike? Yeah, get on the bike. Get on the bike. Stop off and stop on. So, stop off means to stop off is like this. You're driving to the office and you see a coffee shop and you stop off at the coffee shop. You stop to buy coffee and then you keep going. That's stop off. So stop off means to take a break someplace, take a rest someplace during a journey. Drop by. Yeah. So when I went to Toronto, for example, I stopped off in Albany. So it goes New York City, Toronto, Albany. I stopped off in Albany. Okay, I took a break there. Like drop by, yes. Stop on we don't use. But that's a good point. Ride a bike. Drop by. If you come to New York, drop by. Like a bus stop. So the bus will drop you off. So drop off the passengers. So drop off means bring something or somebody somewhere, right? We drop off the kids at school. The bus drops us off in front of the office, right? I drop off my laundry at the dry cleaner. I know, phrasal verbs. I know, it's tough. It's tough. Tough, tough, tough. That's why, if you haven't done it already, you have to sign up for my free vocabulary workshop so that you can learn how to remember these words, this vocabulary. I'm sorry. Ebby, thank you. Sorry, that was a typing mistake. I got out of the taxi and went to my office. Thank you. Sorry. Drop into the coffee shop means stop by for a short time. You drop off your shirts and then you pick up your shirts. You drop off your boss at the airport and then you pick up your boss at the airport. That's right, those are opposites. Those are opposites. Get out of. Yeah, sorry, that was a typo here. Abby, thank you. I got out of the taxi and went to my office. Get out of the taxi. Sometimes I tell the dogs, get out of the house. Get out of my office. Okay. When you get into, by the way, I will post this document up on the website, and if you'd like to get that, then go where it says myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. Go here. Okay, you put in your name and your address, your email address rather. Put your name and email, and then you can get this document, and all of the documents for every single live English lesson that I've done since December of last year. Claudette, hello from Monterrey, Mexico. Welcome. When I visit New York, I will drop by your place. Welcome. Awesome. All right, get into. When you get into something, you start liking that thing. I got into jazz when I was in college. Kim said that she got into playing tennis when she moved to Florida. Speaking of hot places, that's it. What are you into, and when did you get into it? When did you start liking that? When did you get into studying English? When someone who I'm not interested in is getting into me, I get away easily. Thank you for that 2 phrasal verb example. I get into online learning. Good. Get into it. I need to get into it. I really got into studying this week. Too much. Maybe. Hello, Bruno. Welcome. Thanks for joining today. I appreciate that. By the way, if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Michael. I'm an English teacher in New York. I started getting into English when I knew you. Nice. I got into studying English when I was in junior high. I got into studying English when the Corona situation had started. Online learning is a fun way to kill time, that's for sure. Kill time and get something beneficial, I think. Get into. Thank you for getting into my English lessons here on YouTube. I got into the sitcom Seinfeld, which helps me study a lot. Jerry! That's a great sitcom. Eri, I got into studying English since I found your lessons. Excellent, thank you. I'm getting into languages. Good. When are you live here? Every Monday at this time, 9:30 New York time. I got into tennis when I was in high school. I got into studying grammar a few years ago. All right, good. Good examples. Remember, the best way to remember English, vocabulary, grammar, phrasal verbs, whatever. Write an original sentence. Study your sentence. I get into. Into my French. Get on a horse or mount a horse. I'm not a horse rider. You'd have to ask somebody who's into horse riding. Perhaps mount is okay, but I'm not sure. You know, horse riding is a sport. And there's particular vocabulary with every sport. So could be mount. Sounds good to me, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I've never done that. Have I? I think I've ridden a horse. Maybe once when I was younger. We get to meet other learners virtually. That's right. That's right. That is correct. Miranda, I'm not getting into English yet, but I need to learn it. Well, you're here. Hopefully you're getting into my lesson. And I hope that helps you get into it more. I get into traveling to the U.S. every year. Excellent. All right, so what happened? Who types these documents? My goodness. We use get over when we talk about recovering from an illness or a bad relationship. That's right. You can get over an illness, which means to recover from the illness, or you can get over a bad relationship. It took me 2 weeks to get over the flu. Donna isn't ready to date anyone because she still hasn't gotten over her last boyfriend. So you can get over an illness or get over a bad relationship. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What's gotten into you? What's gotten into you? Right, what's your problem? Can we get over this pandemic? What's got into you? Oh, maybe that works in British too. What's got into you? What's gotten into you? What's gotten into you? Maybe we use both. Can we get over this pandemic soon? Hope so. How about saying move on? That's right. You would tell that to Donna. You would say, Donna, you need to move on. It means you need to get over your old boyfriend. But we don't use move on when we talk about an illness. That's the difference, right? It took me 2 weeks to get over the flu. But she hasn't gotten over, she has to get over her old boyfriend before you can date her. Let it go. That's right. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Sorry, I always have music in my head. How are we doing on time? Oh my God, we don't have time to finish. Ah, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? All right, let's see. Maybe 3 more. Get up. Get up means either stand up, right? So get up means to stand up, and either after sleeping or after sitting. I usually get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I usually get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. No. At night, once I get comfortable on my sofa, it's really hard to get up. Get up. Get up. Okay? So, what time do you get up in the morning? It's hard to get up. My sofa is very comfortable. It's hard to get up. Time will heal your heart, so just get over your ex. I need to get over my bad food habits. Yes. 5:29. I'm an early bird. I like to get up at 5. Wow. Awesome. Get up. I get up at 6:15. All right, in the interest of time, I'm going to zip through the last couple. When something or someone gets to you, you feel annoyed. You feel annoyed. My boss really gets to me. I think I'm going to quit my job. The noise in his neighborhood got to him so much that he decided to move. Bruno, you get up at 4:30? Wow. I couldn't get up because I was too tired. Good. It's hard to get up when you're tired. That's right. How about you? What time do you get up? I get up at 6 o'clock every morning. That's right. Okay, so that's get to. And then, all right. Get to also means to arrive, right? I think everybody knows this one. I went right into the water as soon as we got to the beach. The hot weather really gets to me. Me too. Today especially. The flight was delayed, so I didn't get to my hotel until after midnight. So get to is arrive. Remember, you get to work, get to school, get to the store, get home. There's no to before home. Okay, and I think that's it. Nope, that's it. That is it. Okay. Oof. Excellent. All right. Summer gets to me. Get at. What are you getting at? What are you getting at means what are you trying to say? What time do you hit the sack? I usually hit the sack at 10 o'clock at night. Early. I need to go to sleep early. I have to wake up early. All right. Sorry to rush there at the end, but we're out of time. And that's that. So I will post this document in a few minutes up on the internet there. Go to myhappyenglish.com/YouTube. You can get that. And then remember to sign up for my free vocabulary workshop. All right, that, my friends, is all the time we have for today. Hey, thank you so much, everyone who joined me today. And thank you for hanging out with me here on YouTube. I appreciate that, especially everyone who's been here for the whole class. Let's see. Tomorrow, Clubhouse. Wednesday, Instagram. That's the plan for live English lessons this week. All right, have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep in mind that learning another language is not always easy, but it's not impossible, and I am here to help you on that journey. Thank you so much for learning English with me today.